It's not my fault. No, it is. It's so my fault that we're late and gay. Welcome everybody. Also, apparently StreamYard's got an update, so you have to click extra things, and also it doesn't find your camera or your microphone or then your background.
fun.
It's yeah. So like when you go to click stream, start live stream, it's like, would you like to stream this in 1080p? Yes, that's the settings that I have. Anyway, that being said, welcome to everybody, and of course, welcome to JV. How you doing, buddy?
Oh, what a Monday Night Raw! Holy crap! And as my little thing says here, so much for TVPG with the WWE. At least for the last 2 weeks on Raw.
Yeah. This is what made JV laugh. R2 says, if you love dudes talk about muscular dudes, sweaty and oily dudes, then this is the show for you. Well, then why aren't you here? That's the wrong button. That being said,
what's up, Matt?
JT says, The Rock is gay. JV says, yes, he is. Chris says, let's go. She also says, to hell with The Rock. I like what you're looking, Chris. What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? Okay, so we are going to start here. All right, so Raw being a longer show, 3-hour show, right?
3-hour show, yes.
The segments
were gold this week.
They were gold. They were short.
It's absolutely gold this week. Well, I mean, CM Punk had a 20-minute promo. What's up, Kay? So, I mean, we can start with the beginning of the show. We could start at the end of the show.
I think we should probably go in chronological order of
how the show started.
Probably most exciting to the end.
Well, because this is one thing that WWE did very well this episode. They started off with something, whereas before in the Vince era, they would leave you hanging and you'd have to wait until next week to figure out, what did Rock say? What did Rock say? What did Rock say?
Mm-hmm.
But no, they took this and weaved it through the entire show. And then you got an answer at the end. So this was a good story within the larger story that played out, and you got a payoff at the end. This was very well done.
Also, at the same time, this kind of feels a little bit of a callback to so a lot of people are calling this the Renaissance era. I like that name. I like that name. I think that's a solid name. I think that's what it should be. It did something that the Attitude Era did a lot.
Okay. Now, I want to address that. So, the Attitude Era. Now, if you look at it purely from the talent pool that they had, the WWE now is in a much better place. If people think that the Attitude Era is coming back, no. I'm going to say that. I'm going to say that right now. The days of the bra and panty matches are over. The days of a character being a pimp are over. That's never happened. That's never coming back. But what we will get is big stars doing big star things. And that's what we got in this show. We got big stars, even though there wasn't a lot of in-ring stuff. The big stars came out and did big star things. And now with now a week and a half left until the big show, the big spectacle. Whereas before, all the hype was centered around one match. Now you've got other matches that are all of a sudden now they're interesting. They've got some spice to it now. And I'm like, okay, now we're moving in the right direction.
Yeah, I had to pull up Raw's Twitter page to actually try to focus it because so much has happened. And everybody's going nuts. So that being said, yeah, no, I 100% right. Okay, so as a kid, the bra and panties match, they were kind of towards the well, no, that's not true. I take that back. They were something for the older the adults, right? You know, it wasn't really meant.
The
It was
eight,
meant to be very. Go ahead.
it, it, it was meant for that 18 to 45 age bracket.
Yeah, and
That's
it's
what that was for.
and as somebody who started watching when I was about 14, of course, you know, you're like you're a teenager, you're weird, you're going through stuff, and you're like, yeah. Um, but things started transitioning, right? Because you know, some of the ladies they started becoming much more professional, much more articulate at what they did. They became more athletic. It became more entertaining. I don't think we need to go backwards to that. I don't think we need to have
No,
the Godfather back. You know, oh, the whole train. Yeah, nobody cares.
no.
Um, he is an iconic character, but it's something that's over,
From
right?
it's from that era, and
It's
just
from
leave it
that
there.
era. Yeah, it needs to be left there. It's a lot of fun to revisit if you ever want to watch it on Peacock.
Peacock.
Yeah,
Hmm.
I bought Peacock once this all started kind of happening because it kind of like re-energized my love for wrestling again. You know, I also
And
wanted to,
best deal out there, $7.99 a month, and you get
yeah,
all of this. Stop
yeah,
it.
yeah. I started watching like kind of the hits of you know, Bret the Hitman Hart, you know, and some of
Mhm.
his, you know, when it kind of started a lot of you know, in your house and stuff like that. So that being said, real quick, no, no, no. JT says, "Hey everybody, have there been no, not really, unless it's like a wardrobe malfunction."
There was one at the time when they were on the pay-per-view model. They had like a it was like a Survivor Series. It was like the mashed potato gravy wrestling match with the women and the wrestler. What was her name? Cat. The cat boob popped out. Hey,
Hmm.
Roman.
Yeah. What's up, Roman? JT keeps going, so I'm not going to really. He says, "Ahoy, friends! Thanks for being here." Uh, Kai says,
Okay.
"It won't go for all the blood." This section, the swearing.
Okay, let me address that. It's not as overt because if you look at the character of Rhea Ripley, mommy, I mean, what was her thing? I mean, she got Dominic
What up,
Mysterio
dude?
to turn on his dad because I made him a man. And what's her tagline? Mommy's always on top. That's innuendo right there.
Yeah.
It is pervasive throughout her character. So it's not as
Also, she did
in
the
your
stink
face.
face like last week, right?
Yeah.
It was just last
Yeah.
week she did
Yeah.
stink face.
She did it to Nia Jax and Shayna Bit and Shayna Bit Aisler.
Yeah. So it's one of those things that things are very much looking up. Um. All right. So where do you want to start, man? And we can kind of start
Okay,
focusing this down.
we could we could start with they're in Chicago. Cody comes out to the ring, huge pop right off the bat.
Hmm.
I mean, there is something about the city of Chicago that is just magical in that place. So Cody comes out, he starts talking. He says he's talking this time about Roman Reigns and not The Rock, which is a good thing because oh yeah, there's a night 2 main event that they still need to talk about. So he says he kind of just apologizes for winning the Royal Rumble. And I quote, I'm sorry I won the Royal Rumble and ruined your WrestleMania wankfest with your
Hmm.
cousin. And I'm like, oh, okay. So we're going right back to last week when he's coming right up to the line again. And then all of a sudden, because he was not advertised, the holy shit rocks music hits. And I was listening to a live stream, getting ready for our Game of Thrones show. So I'm just listening. I'm listening. I'm like, okay. And then I hear The Rock's music, and I'm like, wait, what? What? He's here? And The Rock does his long walk in. He comes into the ring. They're just staring at each other. Rock puts his hands up, puts them behind his back, just leans in, no mics, whispers something to Cody, and walks away. And that's just like, what the fuck was that? What the hell was that? And that's how the show started. And this weaved through the entire show for the rest of the night.
Yeah, I just want to briefly, again, we're going to show the still. I'm not going to show the actual play out because WWE is so fickle. But this is literally how it started, right? This is Cody's pointing, then all of a sudden, and I'm telling you what, for the fact that The Rock has been a non-stop ass since this has started. The pop is out of control.
And well, that. Okay, so there's that.
Pause. Oh, I didn't pause. I clicked it twice.
But then, okay, so there was that pop. But then the Chicago fans were just giving throngs of Rocky sucks chants.
Oh, by the end of it, yeah, no, there was even some there was like "This is awesome," which everybody was kind of on board for, both sides, and then of course there was a little bit of holy shit, chanting a little bit of CM Punk, a little bit of Punk.
Which I cannot wait till Raw goes to Netflix. I cannot wait. It cannot.
I can't either.
Enough.
Also, at the same time, we'll get to CM Punk's comments. I need to put a hat on because apparently my hair is like meshing with the background.
Little bit. So right after,
hold on.
so
okay. This damn.
Yeah. Okay, now this is also
I'll get
a product of this is also a product of Triple H. These other camera angles that you're getting, different angles, hallway footage from the behind the scenes stuff. This is just the new twist on what was the old Vince model, because the old Vince model was the same location every time. It was very formulaic. Triple H, Paul Levesque, is adding all this new stuff to give it a new look, a new feel, which was
also at the same
very
time
smart.
Yes, because again, Triple H is one of the best heels to ever do it in WW, starting in WWF. But like, you love to hate him. You love to hate him.
I loved him, no matter what.
I know. That's why, like, you loved him, but like you love to hate him too because he was so good at it. Like, he was so incredible. It was unfathomable. Okay, so do you want to talk about the fact that Cody actually comments on what a certain person says?
Because at first it was I believe it was Jackie Redmond who asked The Rock, "What did you say? What did you say?"
Yes.
And then Rock, being a complete prick, is just like, "Ask Cody."
Oh yeah, he's and this is when he put his hands behind his back and he just whispered to him and walked away. That's when everybody was pissed.
Well, that's also like, what the fuck? What the fuck did I just see? So then you get Jackie. So then you get Jackie asking The Rock first, and The Rock's just like, "Go ask him." So about the midpoint of the show, Jackie tracks down Cody and asks, "What did The Rock say?" And he's like, "I don't want to really divulge it. Let's just say he's making a promise that he can't keep." Okay, so now we're like, so at that point, it's kind of, let's just leave that
you just want to
to the
listen real
side.
quick?
Nah, that's fine.
Okay.
So then
It's
you get. So then the show goes on, kind of thing, because at about the hour and 15-minute point is when the CM Punk promo stopped. We've had one match in an hour and 15 minutes, and that match was ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. If anyone thinks that, so a lot of things that also we're doing that we're getting a lot is stuff that you don't see very often, especially in this show. In the JD McDonough match versus Ricochet, we saw a stand-up Spanish fly, which is a top rope maneuver. We saw Ricochet turn a wrist lock into a Canadian destroyer, and then the match ends with a shooting star press crossbody. I'm sorry, what? These are just ridiculously athletic moves that you don't see all that often. And
yeah.
then we come. Go on.
I was just gonna say, for those who don't know, a shooting star press is something that is not easy.
No.
Instead of flipping forward, you decide to flip under.
Yeah.
I don't even know how you do that. I mean, I'm too large of a human to do it, or even to fathom how you do that. But people do it.
Well, Ricochet's not. Well, Ricochet's not much shorter than you are, dude.
Really?
He's like 6'1".
Oh yeah. Well, shit. Fuck. That's some crazy leg strength. I don't know. It's all about athleticism. That's all I can tell you.
Right. So then we come to the inevitable, the guy who was advertised to be here. Chicago's own second city saint, CM Punk. God damn, that man is a national treasure. That guy is brilliant.
He pissed everybody off. I loved it.
Well, there's that, but at the same time, hey, Mrs. Sassy, spice it up, dear. So we've also got. Okay. Oh, I'm sorry, Brad. He's 5'9". Okay, short guy. So
medium guy, medium.
Short. The short end of tall. The short end.
Well, because one of the last people I saw to do the shooting star press was like what Evan Bourne, right?
Evan Bourne would do that. Billy Kidman would do
that. Yep.
Now,
Billy Kidman was the first one I saw do it.
Yeah. So, on this past Sunday, there was a memo that went out from Nick Khan and Triple H, where there was talk of when you're on TV, when you're doing social media, you need to keep your language TV PG. So, and this was in response to The Rock doing his promos, which that's another topic that we could get into at the bit. Yes, Triple H is still a thing. He is the creative director of WWE.
And so I have to be honest though. Hey buddy. I have to be honest. I'm kind of glad that Triple H is running the show.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Very, very much so. And I just heard that a former WWE superstar, was it Bobby Roode, is also part of the creative team as well. So I'm like, okay, good. Taking care of your folks. Then I remember. So, and there was some talk that some of the locker room was getting a little upset, kind of like, well, why does The Rock get to do this and we can't? Well, the short answer is you're not The Rock. So there's really the short answer, and that would also apply to CM Punk as well, because CM Punk is unscripted. They give him like they give him like 3 points to hit and just say go. And he started off, he's talking about a bunch of folks. He's talking about Roman Reigns, of how since his return and CM Punk is climbing up the mountain, Roman Reigns is going to start climbing down the mountain. They're going to meet somewhere along the way. He did a thing on Seth Rollins where he says, we really don't see eye to eye, mostly now because he wears high heel shoes, but that's a topic for another time. And then he mentioned specifically, he says, someone who hasn't been talking about me is The Rock. And then he makes this reference, and he's like, because maybe that's because 10 years ago, he figured out that his arms weren't long enough to box with God. And I'm like, oh, shit, he went to that reference. And then he starts talking about Drew McIntyre. And right on cue, Drew McIntyre's music hits. And Drew McIntyre has been doing some of the best work he has ever done. He's literally spitting gold at this point.
He's very entertaining right now.
And these two were going back and forth. The best line was when Drew McIntyre said, "Oh, Punk, you're straight edge, but you don't drink, you don't smoke, you don't do drugs." And he points toward Seth's CM Punk's arm, but you spend more time in rehab. Burn.
Whoa. Also, it was funny too. When he starts talking about the fact that he's wearing a kilt and stuff like that, and he's like, "Oh, it's 2024." He's like, "You'll get canceled for talk like that." And I was like, I'm like, thank you. That was a great shot over the bow. I loved it.
Internet troll in a skirt.
I like it.
That's what he referred to. And then Drew sits on the commentator's desk and said, Kai, no, that was all ad-lib. There was no script in that at all. It was completely unscripted, off the cuff, shooting from the hip.
Yeah, no, the Rock and CM Punk are very off script.
So
because of the Rock and CM Punk. Hey, buddy. What's up, man?
The Ultimate Warrior. I love the Warrior. That was such.
I do too.
Such a gimmick. It was awesome.
I know. So that was my mom's favorite, by the way.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
So then Drew says something like, "When it's just since you've been gone, we've got to see why I am the chosen one." CM Punk could not resist this. When he said, "Oh, really? You're the chosen one. Wow. Who chose you, Drew? What paragon of good virtue called you the chosen one?" Just daring Drew to say Vince McMahon, because that's what Vince McMahon called Drew McIntyre when he first came into the WWE. Was
also and of course CM Punk, famously
hates Vince
McMahon. And there's a lot of that sentiment going around as things dig deeper, and now we're getting much better wrestling now that he's way over there.
God. Yeah. So then Seth Rollins shows up because he can't not be in the fun. And Seth Rollins is unscripted as well. These three guys were amazing. And it culminated with CM Punk is now going to be the special guest commentator during the Drew McIntyre Seth Rollins World Heavyweight Championship match. And Seth just stopped it with, "Sure, I'll put on some cans. I'll sit next to Michael Cole, Pat McAfee, and I'll do something you and your lifts and your boots, your shoe polish, and your beard, you and your wife and your title have failed to do in 10 years. Make yourselves interesting." I was not hyped for that match until last night. The addition of CM Punk even as a commentator just gives just enough spice that I'm like, okay, now I'm into this.
Well, and also on top of that too, obviously, we saw at the kind of like the little WrestleMania preview, right, where The Rock first slapped Cody Rhodes.
Mhm.
CM Punk inserted himself in there, and you even see a
No,
little
was it?
side. Well, no, no, no,
It wasn't
no.
there.
But what? No, he yeah. When The Rock slapped, they all kind of came face to face. They talked crap.
That was Seth
N-
Rollins. That was Seth. CM
n-
Punk was not there.
No, 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 no. CM Punk was at like the table talking about it.
Oh
Remember
yeah,
when
yeah,
he
yes,
said,
yes, yes, yes,
yeah,
yes, 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 yes.
when he says the fact that he's like going, he's like, if he's like, I just slapped the
Yeah,
Rock
if that was
right
my
back at his,
boss.
yeah, 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 exactly. Like going, and
Right.
then you see the Rock give him a little side eye because there's more to this. There are further comments on this that I have a feeling we're probably gonna get a little bit of a part two there.
Oh, we definitely will. Now we
I'm
come
so
to the
excited
end.
about all this.
The end. So we come to the end of the show. It's Jey Uso versus Shinsuke.
Hmm.
Okay, fine. That's a nothing match. All of a sudden, through the crowd comes Jimmy and Solo. Out comes Seth. Out comes Cody to keep them from interfering. Drew attacks, and then Drew comes out, gives Seth a DDT out on the floor. The match ends, but the match ends, but there's still like 8 minutes left before they go off the air. Cut to the back. We got Cody fending off Jimmy. He's fending off Solo,
No, no, sorry.
and
I
then
don't. I have playing volume.
and and then
Unsure.
from behind, a sneak attack, ambush. Cody gets blasted by The Rock. And this just turns into he's throwing him around. He's punching him, kicking him, going outside at night in the rain, slamming him against his own bus. And we see the Crimson Mask. Cody's starting to bleed. And Rock takes off a weight belt. It says Mama Rhodes on it. And he's looking at the camera going, Mama Rhodes, look at your baby boy, Mama Rhodes. Look what the final boss is doing to your baby boy, Mama Rhodes. Wipes Cody's blood, wipes it on the belt. This is for you, Mama Rhodes. This is what happens when you fuck with the final boss. Cut. Now the internet sleuths were right because they called it right from the beginning when what the Rock whispered in Cody Rhodes' ear. Tonight, I'm gonna make you bleed.
This is not something we've seen a whole lot from wrestling in a long time.
Okay, it's not something we've seen from WWE. So when it does happen,
WWE, yeah.
so when when it does happen, it has an impact. It's like holy shit.
This is, we'll just take a little listen. Can't really watch it because WWE will get grumpy. At least with the
Mhm.
audio, they won't really kick us in the nuts. Also, unfortunately, Tyler and Ego couldn't be here. I was late and gay. It's completely my fault. I completely forgot about all this. I still kind of have like a little bit of a sickness brain and stuff like that. So, but this is Cody's already bleeding. I mean, he has been decimated. I mean, he's
Yeah,
been obliterated. He's been thrown in.
and
The Rock.
it,
Oh my God! One of my
it
favorite
was
things is when.
okay.
Go ahead, dude.
It was such a sneak attack. Cody never got his hands up to throw a punch, to throw a kick, nothing.
I have to be honest. I think even behind the scenes, I think the Rock said to Cody Rhodes, he's like, "We're gonna do something, and it's probably gonna be something that you're not familiar with." And he's like, "I just want you to get ready because again,
Uh,
it's a tango."
well,
And the Rock worked him good.
well, I mean, Cody spent time in. I mean, Cody founded AEW
Oh, he did, yeah. Did,
with the young Bucks, and he also spent time in New Japan. So blood is not something Cody is not.
No, it's something he hasn't done that hasn't probably maybe done in a long time. I mean, again, I could be wrong. I'm more of I only watched briefly AEW. Kind of after the first year, I kind of lost interest. But anyway,
Well,
so Cody is just
okay, and then just to make my point of using blood in WWE is I'm coming to that.
yeah, we're yep.
Is the reason why it has such a impact as opposed to say AE did as opposed to AEW, because you see blood all the time. You
Yeah.
see blood, you see thumbtacks. Like every other week, it's a Texas death match. Okay, if you keep doing it over and over and over again, you're going to lose the impact. So by doing by this so this show, you saw stuff in the ring that you have not seen in a while, and it's like, holy shit. At the end of the show, you saw something that you don't see very often, and it's a holy shit.
This is so rare that I was reading the comments on all the videos, uploaded from WWE and Twitter stuff. Apparently on YouTube, when this happens, they cut to black and white to not show the color red of blood. Like, what? I didn't know that was a thing. Tom says Les Lieberman just passed away. It's supposed to be Les?
I didn't know that.
I didn't either.
Now, so that's how the show ended. But there was an Easter egg. Well, there was an Easter egg. There was an Easter egg there.
Oh, Joe Lieberman. Okay. I was like, who's Yos?
There was an Easter egg there that is going to this theory. Because remember, this is WrestleMania 40 XL. This is the big spectacle.
It is Triple XL. H's. That's a great point.
This is Triple H's first WrestleMania on his own. His first. As Rock is taking Cody out into the rain, there's a production truck. There Now,
here you go. I got a photo. As you're talking, I got a photo.
Okay, so now all the WWE since Elimination Chamber, every production truck, every wrap is WrestleMania. But yet we see this. And who do we see there?
John Cena and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
Two of the Rock's biggest rivals minus Triple H.
So
who can't wrestle.
So what we have here is the theory is out there. The nickname, the internet nickname is calling it the Avengers Assemble. Because we know pretty much night one, Cody and Seth are losing that match. They're going to take the L on that. And then it becomes Bloodline Rules. Cody Rhodes, Mama Rhodes, Bloodline Rules. Which means
also right after that shot, The Rock did this. And people thought The Rock was going to throw Cody Rhodes over the side of this like he did to Stone Cold Steve Austin, throwing him into the river. Now, obviously, it'd be a stunt, but that trailer is literally right this direction.
So what we're going to get in night two is just overbooked as fuck, which I'm fine with that. It's WrestleMania. It's WrestleMania. It's the spectacle. This is what you pay for. This is what you pay your $7.99 a month for basic Peacock to get. So
this is what a lot of people are saying right here.
Right. So what we're gonna get is Cody is now fighting against all odds. Seth Seth will be in bad shape after the beatdown that Drew gives him, which there's another theory on that coming out, and we'll get to that later on. But what's going to happen is all of a sudden you might see Jey Uso show up. You'll hear music from John Cena. You may even see The Undertaker. Because who was the last person to face The Undertaker and retire him at WrestleMania? It was Roman Reigns.
Mm-hmm.
Roman Reigns is the 2 in 22 and 2.
Yep.
Rikishi might show up. I would not put it past them. But then you're going to get the glass shattered. You're going to get Stone Cold Steve Austin, because both of them have been rumored that they're getting ready for something. This is going to be it. So the heroes are going to show up to help the hero defeat the evil entity known as the Bloodline.
Yes, and it is highly rumored that Stone Cold Steve Austin was just invited to WrestleMania. Now, of course, John Cena has made the comment, I haven't been invited to WrestleMania. It's like, well, that's just
Stop.
That's
It's 40.
just,
Come on now.
yeah.
Every 10 years.
That's just salting a little bit there, dude. Like, well, I
Right.
wasn't invited, but or whatever. Like,
okay, all of these guys have what's called legend contracts.
yes.
So if WWE wants them, they will send the invite and say, "Hey, come on in." Well,
Brad, dude,
Brad, let's not go there. This is
at
least the WWE is in the better hands now with Paul Levesque than Vince McMahon is.
So just kind of elaborating here real quick, because let's just get a little bit of the words on this one to hear where, and this is significant. Oh, crap. This is significant, by the way. Oh, I'm not sharing it. Damn it, dumbass. I took it off for the volume because it would randomly play. Yeah, that's looking rough.
Blood on Johnson's hands. Your daddy talked about hard times. He doesn't know about hard times, but you're gonna know about hard times, boy.
Also, a lot of people are praising The Rock because he wore his sunglasses for like 3/4 of this crap.
Right. So this segment here tells us 3 things that are happening at WrestleMania. It tells us, 1, Seth Rollins is not going to turn on Cody Rhodes. So
I didn't never believe that at all.
So whoever thought that narrative, bye. Number 2, The Rock is not turning on Roman Reigns. That's not happening. And number 3, you pretty much told the world, as far as wrestling storytelling goes, Cody Rhodes is walking out of WrestleMania the Universal Champion.
I'm heavily leaning towards that. Yeah, absolutely. Because The Rock was not expected until this Monday, and then of course there's going to be massive fallout. Probably the biggest fallout on SmackDown. It's going to be
SmackDown
almost at. The reason I say that is because it used to be like, massive fallout on Raw, and then like you would get JR screaming like, "Oh my God, what's going to happen on SmackDown Thursday night?" I mean, I can't do his voice, but
Okay, so we have one SmackDown coming this week and one Raw. The SmackDown before WrestleMania, at least for the last few years, has kind of been reserved for the Hall of Fame. So we're probably not going to get anything as far as like story wise on that night. So we've got 2 shows left.
Okay. Have they named the host for
No, they have
WrestleMania?
not. They have not. So
I don't
I
think
want to go through the
WrestleMania
match.
needs a host.
Man, it's just it's usually something to get someone a spot on the big show, which there are still big names that are not confirmed for the show yet. So I want to go through the matches, all the confirmed matches, and then there's some that's being teased. You know, that's not bad there. That's not a bad idea, Brad. So we have the men's tag team match. This is great. This is the best character The Rock has played. He's terrifying.
And
He's
this
evil.
is how the show ended. Right here. It was nuts. Other than that, I'm not gonna play our show anymore, just to make sure that WWE doesn't get their panties in a wad.
Right. So we've got the men's tag team championship match, which we still don't know 2 of the participants yet. We still don't know 2 of the teams. That will happen on Friday. So as of right now, we have Judgment Day, DIY, Johnny Gargano and Tommaso Ciampa, The New Day, and Awesome Truth, Miz and R-Truth. I personally think from the SmackDown, we're going to get Legado del Fantasma and the Street Profits. So, Ryan, how hyped are you about a 6-pack ladder match for a tag team title?
I have to be honest, that sounds insane. Ladder matches are.
I mean, you say
ladder matches are.
You say
they're dangerous.
A ladder match, and my ears perk up.
Yeah, they're legit dangerous because
that's an injury waiting to happen.
I mean, and you can't make a ladder soft. You can't make a ladder soft. Like you take a table and you take the little middle supports out and maybe just kind of like grind them down to the bare minimum to where the table just goes when you land on. No, it's a fucking ladder.
Yeah, metal.
Still to this day, the craziest ladder match was the one where they had to custom build one for a big show that Kane won. That giant 500-pound ladder. Yeah,
that's ridiculous.
It is ridiculous.
So this is one of the matches where I think the champions drop their title. There's just too much chaos going on in this match, and plus Damian Priest still has the money in the bank briefcase that he hasn't done shit with, so he needs to do something with that soon. We have the Intercontinental Championship match: Gunther versus Sami Zayn. Your thoughts?
Do you hold on? Okay, so Gunther has held it for 800 days. Is that
almost
right?
700.
Almost 700.
Almost
okay,
700 days.
I don't know. See, I'm so weird about this one because the long title reigns are things that I'm not as familiar with, right? You know, and we've talked about this a couple shows ago, to where like the Attitude Era, the Ruthless Aggression titles were going boom, 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 boom. It's like, it's one reason that John Cena has like
16 championships.
Yeah, just shy
16.
of Ric Flair. It's 17.
No, tied.
Oh, he's tied. Oh, Jesus Christ. No, I think Gunther retains.
Yes.
To Backlash.
Now, not to Backlash, because there's
a
premium live event after Backlash, probably before Saudi. Bash at there's a premium live event that's called Bash at Berlin. Gunther is Austrian. He's holding
Oh,
the belt. He's holding the belt at
that
least
would probably make sense. Yeah.
until then. Now, not to say that Sami Zayn is not going to give a good match. That match is going to be great. But
Duke,
Gunther,
we're all old here. We all remember the first TLC match.
dude, TLC 2 was the best match by far.
That was insane.
TLC.
That's when
TLC
Edge speared Jeff
WrestleMania,
Hardy off. Yeah.
Yes. Or WrestleMania 17.
Yep.
Then we've got the triple threat Logan Paul match for the U.S. Championship. So I'm just going to take a drink here real quick.
It's almost like there's a sponsor in there.
There is. There'll be a sponsor. There'll be a sponsor on the mat too. So we got
True.
Logan Paul versus Randy Orton, and just announced last week, Kevin Owens got added to the match. Your thoughts?
I'm going all Randy Orton.
Logan Paul keeps the title.
You think so? How would that play? What? That's true. I mean, but at the same time, though, like he came into WWE and he
He's taken to it so easily.
He has taken to it so easily. But the thing is, though, is that people didn't think he would. So it's almost like he would actually want to do the opposite of what people would think would happen. Or are you thinking that maybe Randy Orton hits an RKO on
Kevin Owens?
Kevin Owens, and then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Logan Paul sneaks in and maybe gets one on the Viper because he's Viper.
That's possible.
That would be poetic.
I think that we're gonna give Randy Orton a push because he's not a spring. He's not in his younger days anymore. He's coming down to the end of his career. I mean, there's more metal in his back than there is bone at this point. But I think they're going to give him a push to get it's for the one more title, maybe two, to tie Flair and Cena. So I think that might happen. And if he's holding the U.S. Championship, he's got to worry about other things. Kevin Owens doesn't need to take a win to still be great. Kevin Owens is great. And if anyone does not appreciate the work that Kevin Owens does, you just don't understand wrestling. That guy can do it all. Absolutely do it all. And what Logan Paul and Gunther have done in this post Vince era is they've taken these mid-card belts and elevated them to prominence to where they're being talked about they're no longer a joke, because for a long time the Intercontinental Championship during, like, say, the golden era and the start of the Attitude Era, that belt had some weight to it. It was relevant. During the Ruthless Aggression Era, the PG era, the Thunderdome era, it became a joke, and it was just this. It became this, just a revolving door. So you're going to
even during the Attitude Era, when WWF at the time bought WCW and ECW, they brought in the literal US title, and it was something that was just, it wasn't won, it was given to somebody for their outstanding performance, and it's like,
right. So,
and the Intercontinental belt was something that was actually before that, was actually something that was a title to behold. It wasn't the WWF Championship, but it was something big. And then all of a sudden, under the same roof, you had the WWF and the WCW, or the World Heavyweight as it changed, and it kind of got dwarfed.
Right. So now we're going to come to the WWE Women's Championship match between Rhea Ripley and Becky Lynch. Your thoughts?
I'm going with Rhea.
Absolutely. Yeah,
I'm going with Rhea for the same reason that you're going with Rhea. I very much agree with that. She's getting a massive push.
Now, as of right now, and the Liv Morgan stands out there. Again, I'm a fan of Liv Morgan, but as of right now, Liv Morgan has no match at the WrestleMania. Do I think that she's not going to make an appearance? Oh no. I think in my little fantasy booking here is Rhea defeats Becky Lynch. She's celebrating, holding up the belt. Someone comes from out of nowhere, kendo stick, chair, just beats the living shit out of her, pulls off the hood, and it's Liv. Because Liv has added these extreme aspects to her character now. Puts Rhea through a table, and then just stands over her, holding the belt. That's what I think will happen.
Duke says, after WrestleMania, if Judgment Day doesn't break up, does Rhea become the leader? If the Judgment Day,
we're going to see on that, because there's hints of things happening, other things people have said, and again, WWE does everything for a reason. Every line that is said is done for a reason. No, Ariel, no. I am sick and tired of Nia Jax.
Have you actually interacted with Ariel before this?
I have not. So,
just get ready.
Okay, fine.
She's a lovely person. That being said, JV is right. Everything is calculated. Everything is down to the wire. And quite frankly, I expect more shakeups than probably WrestleMania's pasts for the last at least,
So that brings us now to the WWE of okay. I've seen her on streams, but just never really super interacted. The WWE Women's Championship, Bayley versus Io Sky.
With Bayley.
That's the best story of all these matches. That's the best story. Now I do think. Now this brings us to Damage Control, because you got Dakota Kai, who's healthy, and you got the Kabuki, the Warriors, Asuka, and Kairi Sane. Now we've also heard that on this SmackDown, Jade Cargill, who has officially signed with SmackDown, is making her first in-ring promo appearance, kind of thing. I think Damage Control is going to try and pull some shenanigans on Jade, and you're going to get Naomi and Bianca. You're going to get Naomi and Bianca Belair, who have had previous run-ins with Damage Control, show up to help her out, and that's going to lead to a six-person tag match at the WrestleMania, which accomplishes four things. One, the Kabuki, the Warriors just recently won the titles, so they get to be in a match where they don't have to put the titles on the line. Number two, Bianca Belair, who's still up until this point is not announced for anything. And she kicked off the press conference in Las Vegas for the WrestleMania. The fact that it's taken this long to get her on the card is criminal. Number 3, you get Naomi, who was a big re-signing back from TNA, to finally have a spot on the WrestleMania. And number 4, you're not going to have Jade Cargill not be on the WrestleMania card, but in a tag match with Naomi and Bianca, she doesn't have to do any real heavy lifting because I'm sure she's still got some bad habits. So in this setting, you get to hide that because she'll come in for like a hot tag, do a few spots, and Bianca and Naomi are good to do the heavy lifting. That's what I think will happen.
Also, for those who don't know what JV just said, a spot is known as a high spot. It's meant to be exciting. You know, the hero comes in, knocks down the bad
Holy shit
guys.
moment.
Yeah, numerous bad guys usually. The Rock and Stone Cold were extremely good at it. But Arrow says Bailey has really put on some weight. Bailey, okay, is somebody who was at NXT before I decided to call it quits. Bailey is an incredible person. She's always been a little bit thicker. Nothing wrong with that. At the beginning, wasn't Bailey basically the female John Cena, but they kind of messed that up. Yes, yes, they did.
The hugger.
And they went in another direction, which was important. They made her.
And it was the best thing for her career.
And it's the same thing that happened to The Rock. They tried to make him look. It's true. They tried to make him this huge thing, and people were like, I don't see it. I don't like it. He sucks. Then Rocky sucks, right? And then of course they shifted gears, and you know, so that's
I would say
getting a hot tag. Yeah, it means a desperation tag.
I would say the better example of that is Roman Reigns.
I think the modern day equivalent is Roman Reigns, because Roman was meant to be, he was meant to be the new
face.
John Cena, and he went over,
and it did not go over with the fans.
He went over like a boulder.
Ago. Yeah, and then 4 years ago, when he came back as the tribal chief, the head of the table, and became the Roman Reigns we see now, and it is the best. It is the best move that he's ever made.
Agreed. Also, given his health issues too, it's this is all. Well, no, I'm going to say this. It's one of the reasons that eventually Roman has to give it up. He can't.
Oh yeah, right.
Because people are noticing that The Rock has made more appearances over the last few weeks than Roman has made over the last like 6 months.
Well, yeah, that's part of his contract, and plus it's time for a change. People are tired of the part-timer champion. They were getting tired. They were getting tired of it. They were getting tired of it with Brock and Roman and they're really real tired of it with Roman. As great as he has been, it's time. Speaking of Roman.
Yeah, go ahead, dude.
Speaking of Roman, the night one main event, the tag team, Seth and Cody versus Roman and Rock. I think we all know where this is going.
Real quick, did you notice that they changed it? So now it's The Rock and Cody face to face, and it's Seth and Roman face to face for night one. Basically, they changed the thumbnail.
Yeah. So So I think we all know where that's going. Seth and Rhodes are not going to win that match. That's not happening. And if you think they are, you're insane.
Yeah,
Now we
it's
got some
probably going to be The Rock beating the brakes off of
Cody Rhodes.
Cody Rhodes again, and it's going to
And-
look like he has no chance to win night 2.
Right. So we got some grudge matches here. We got AJ Styles versus LA Knight.
I like LA Knight.
I'm sure you do, because he is basically a carbon copy of the Attitude Era.
He wouldn't say that much, but he's pretty good at what he does.
Yeah.
I do like AJ Styles though too. I don't know which. I'm not following this one that close. Battle of the Initials.
The Initials, right?
Fucking area. AJ
So-
is always solid.
Okay, so
What do you think?
I think, okay, who needs this more? Who needs a win more? Does AJ Styles need a win at the WrestleMania to stay relevant? No, he doesn't. AJ Styles is AJ Styles. I think LA Knight wins, and I think AJ puts him over. And that goes into the same thing with the Jimmy and Jay Uso match. Who needs a win more? Does Jay need a win to be relevant? No. Jimmy does, because Jimmy has been booked like a clown the last couple weeks. Jay is fine no matter what. Jimmy goes over. That's just my thought.
I love the fact that Ariel knows these terms too. Clean over or shenanigans?
With which match? LA Knight or Jimmy and Jay?
I think she's saying with Jimmy and Jay. LA Knight and AJ should be a clean over.
Right. Jimmy will probably win because again, this is very much the blood. Oh, LA Knight and Styles, that's a clean win.
Yeah, it's a clean win. Jimmy and Jay is where it's shenanigans.
Because you got you got the bloodline throughout this entire weekend. So you got Solo lurking somewhere. Are we going to see Tama Tonga? So who knows that? So and Jimmy needs to win more than Jay does. And that brings us to the last two matches. The WWE World Heavyweight Championship with CM Punk as special guest commentator, Drew McIntyre versus Seth Rollins. Your thoughts?
I'm going Drew.
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
I'm going Drew. It needs to be fresh. I'm going Drew. Drew has been so, okay, it's a weird way to put this. So dry, but at the same time, so funny.
Right.
Like, he's more entertaining. And again, as somebody who was at NXT when Seth Rollins was, no shit against him, I think Drew McIntyre's better. I think he's getting a bigger push.
I think this will be okay. Drew has resigned, so that's set in stone.
Yeah, that's
now. I think Seth Rollins will lose for the same reason Roman Reigns. I think we're getting tired of Seth Rollins. At least this Seth Rollins, the fashionista, the over the top outfits and stuff. I think he needs to reset.
Yeah.
On that. So now don't be surprised. Don't be surprised. Drew wins. He gets his moment to hold a belt in front of fans in a stadium instead of in a warehouse in front of TV screens. Because that's his big thing.
Yep.
Because he was the champion during the Thunderdome.
No.
era. Don't be surprised. Damian Priest cashes in.
Yeah, Duke, which the chat is about 20 seconds behind us. He said it like a second after you did.
Yeah, don't
And
say
then
it.
he said,
Then he
don't
said,
say
don't
it.
say.
Won't you
Don't be
say it?
surprised. Don't be surprised because, again, Damien, we haven't even talked about the briefcase in about a month, and he's running out of time. And frankly, that briefcase needs to be used for something to really elevate someone. Because in the last 3 years, the only cash in that has really elevated someone has been Liv, and that's it. After the match. So I think after the match, Drew will be holding the belt, might come over to CM Punk and just be like, ha 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 ha. CM Punk might throw a left in, pop him a little bit, and then we're gonna hear Priest music. Priest come running down, cashes in, and Priest is the champion. So then you get Rhea and Priest, the Judgment Day, are the champions.
Good thing Judgment Day is not a pay-per-view anymore because it'd be very confusing.
Judgment Day. Well, WWE hasn't done a pay-per-view in like 9 years. I mean, you could still do it.
Yeah, I mean, it's what we used to call pay-per-views, right? Well, I'm old, and as you know, yeah, no, that's now I do think this is interesting. If Cody wins, you need a heel holding the other belt. However, if things are flipped, what would happen, let's say hypothetically, if Cody doesn't win? It doesn't necessarily mean
that's a dark
it doesn't mean the end of the story for Cody. It means the end of the story for Cody against Roman. What if somebody else, in a weird way? I mean, I don't know. I'm trying to work devil's advocate here. Does that make sense?
There's no good scenario to Roman holding the belt still. There's no.
I agree. I very much agree. And it's okay. So Backlash is after WrestleMania, and then
right.
SummerSlam is not until August.
So in between there, you've got this one, and you got this premium live event in Germany. You're going to have a have a Saudi show in there as well. You got money.
It's kind of like the Australia thing that happened.
They've been doing Saudi shows for the last couple years. It's
the one in Germany. Is it like Australia?
No,
Elimination Chamber.
No, it's not. It's not gonna be the same as that. And then you still got the money, and then you still got money in the bank still.
And that's after Backlash, but between SummerSlam.
Somewhere, yeah.
Ooh. Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to play devil's advocate as if like everybody, including myself, seems to be leaning towards, again, yes, Cody is going to win. What's up, Wade? How you doing, buddy?
That's pretty well. Again,
what if he doesn't?
No. The way they ended Raw, you pretty much guaranteed. You pretty much told the script, because that is now the lowest place he is in.
The only reason I say this is because I don't feel that WWE is going to be what it has been for the last like 15 years. They're dabbling a little bit from other areas. Usually the night the last night before the pay-per-view is the most telling, right? I think The
Well,
Rock is probably going to get a little bit bulldozed, and I think Cody might, I don't know, get a pipe or a chair or maybe bash, Dwayne's brains in, and everybody's going to go, oh, you know?
I don't write the scripts. I'm not
It's true.
one of the
We're
creators. I just
speculating
know
here.
everything from past wrestling history. If you've watched it enough, you can kind of see how the things play out. For the Universal Championship in night 2, Cody is walking out the Universal Champion. Now Cody could turn heel, but this is the problem. Now this is the problem. Now this is part of the problem with how they've got it, with how they've had him being booked so far. Is he's been the nice guy. The absolute definitely not Stardust. That's not happening again. But he's the overly right now. Cody is the overly nice guy. He is the one who will kiss the babies, walk grandma across the street. His name is the American Nightmare, not the American Dream, the American Nightmare. There needs to be some edge to him. He needs to be the character that will do what's right. That will do what's right. Don't fuck with me. Or you cross me, you cross me, I will put your damn lights out. That's the character Cody needs to be. A face that has an edge to him.
Yeah. He needs to be, I wouldn't say,
Okay.
I wouldn't.
Okay, so Brad's okay. So Brad has a question right here. Who becomes Cody's bad guy? Well, when Cody wins the title, he's going to go down to he's going to go over to Smackdown because that's where that title is until they do the WWE draft. They swap the champions because Cody will be on the flagship show when the Netflix changeover happens. Guarantee that. Who does that's a good one. I could honestly see. Here's a thought. Gunther. Bring Gunther to SmackDown too during the draft.
That'd be a good one.
Gunther would be great.
Yeah, I agree. Look, I'm Stone Cold Steve Austin is too far for Cody Rhodes. The
Cody
Rock
Rhodes just needs
The Rock in the Attitude
Rhodes,
Era is too far too, because maybe
Cody Rhodes just needs to be Cody Rhodes. That's all he needs to be.
Yeah, and if you're
not the next this,
compare them,
not the next this, not the next that, because if
also not his brother, also not his dad, he needs to be his own thing.
And because if they're not careful and they keep booking him like this, he's going to become the next John Cena, and fans turned on John Cena.
No, I always wanted to see John Cena after he became this huge thing. When they were saying Cena sucks, like, just make him a bad guy. Yes, he needs to be himself with the AEW style. I think that will come, because I think Triple H is more willing to have that conversation than Vince, who was a rigid stick in the mud in his older age.
And also, you've also got because Cody also spent time with New Japan as a member of the Bullet Club. That is a gnarly heel action.
No, Vince is no longer in the picture. That's why I'm saying wrestling's better. As for Dustin Rhodes,
nope. He is under contract. He is under a very tight contract with AEW. WWE. He will not appear on TV. Now, will Dustin be at the event somewhere in a luxury box or backstage somewhere in his like locker room or something? Yes, he'll be there, of course. He's not going to be on TV.
No, he can't be on camera. You could probably skirt the line by hearing his voice off camera, but it's literally, it'd be a civil suit. Duke says Triple H has a better mind for pro wrestling now than Vince, who was stuck in the 1980s mode. Well,
yeah, and there is.
I'll give you the majority of that. However, the Attitude Era. Not saying it's my favorite era as of right now. This is very much reigniting, as we're calling it, the Renaissance era. I think it's an incredible way to put it. It's like putting all the best things of all the eras from the past together. No, I think Triple H is doing it better because he was a part of the late 80s, the 90s, the 2000s, the PG era, the
2010s. Now, Triple H still does have some Vince isms in him. That's who taught him how to. So eventually, those will be gone. But yeah, so I think so. I think we got some predictions. I think we had a pretty solid prediction there. There's, like I said, there's still some big names that are not on the card. Like I said, Liv not on the card. Tiffany Stratton not on the card, and she's been holding down the women's division on SmackDown. She hasn't appeared really for the last 2 weeks in the ring, but she's 5-0, and she's made a big splash at the last 2 premium live events. I mean, even as much as a heel, she was the fan favorite in the Elimination Chamber match as a heel.
Ariel says it'll be gone once Triple H wins the title one last time. He can't.
He's never wrestling again. He
can't do it. His heart's too bad. He has a legitimate heart problem. From what I understand, they had to put in a pacemaker or something like that.
And a defib. A defib.
So
a micro defib as well.
No, I was at the Wrestlemania in Dallas when Triple H laid his boots down and left him in the middle of the ring. That's the one I was at. Yeah, that was a very sad moment.
That was the attendance record one, right?
Yes,
101,000. 101,000.
Yeah, the one that Pat McAfee, and
McAfee,
McAfee. Thank you. And Vince McMahon was still there, and then of course Stone Cold came out and stunned Vince, awesome. And it was like yeah.
No. Okay. So that was the later one. So that was the it was Pat McAfee versus Austin
Theory. Yeah. It was
what they've done with him. Which that is an example of capturing the money in the bank and going backwards, because that was just bad time. That was just bad timing, because you had the 2 champions at the time was Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. No.
And Brock Lesnar lost. And my nephew is so angry. He was so angry.
Well, that was the year that they unified the titles.
Yes, it was.
Yep.
My nephew was so angry walking back to the car. I think he was like, it's been 3 years. So he was.
Okay, so let me ask you this.
12?
So let's close on this, because we've reminisced about the WrestleManias in the past. What was your favorite WrestleMania championship moment.
Oh. Shit. I mean,
And no, Brock is never coming back either.
WrestleMania 2000 was so good because of the betrayal. Again,
Okay.
WrestleMania 17 because again, Stone Cold
The
Steve
betrayal.
Austin, the massive betrayal.
Okay.
I'm probably gonna have to go with.
Ooh, nice one there, Brad. That's a nice one there.
I'm gonna go with
Gotcha.
Stone Cold Steve Austin and The Rock, WrestleMania 17.
Okay.
Because that's the moment The Rock went from being a face to a super face. Because Stone Cold Steve Austin went to the dark side, and quite frankly, it was awesome. It's so awesome.
My favorite championship moment, just because of the story that was being built and the underdog, the classic underdog story, and the match itself was amazing. WrestleMania 35, Kofi Mania. Kofi beats Daniel Bryan for the WWE Championship. Just such an amazing match, amazing story. That was awesome. Awesome. Now, as far as my favorite match of all time, also came at WrestleMania 17, which was TLC 2.
All right, I have a slight amendment to my second favorite one. The one where Kane wins the the ECW championship in like 9 seconds. Yeah, so the Rock was my favorite. Kane was second,
Oh, Brad.
and Fingertip of Doom.
That was the WCW.
I don't know that one.
Okay, that was WCW. Kevin Nash was the champion, and he was challenging, and Hulk Hogan was challenging him. So everyone's going with Kevin Nash. He's coming out, and Hogan just does this, pokes him in the chest. Kevin goes, "Oh!" Falls down. Hogan covers him. Count to 3. And then Kevin pulls off his shirt and it says NWO.
That's weird.
Yeah, that was a WCW match during the Monday night wars, and I believe that was the same night that Mankind beat The Rock for the WWE Championship.
Shout out to Mick Foley. Good old Mick. That being said, no, Duke, you're not secretly a wrestling fan. You're one of us.
You are a wrestling. You are a wrestling fan, dude. It's fine.
That being said, Mr. JV is going.
So, Brad, I'm going to ask you right now. In 2 weeks, we're going to come back and do a WrestleMania post show. Are you in, sir?
I don't know. We should probably do one in a week because I feel like there's a lot that's going to happen.
What, next week?
Yeah.
So you want to do it next week?
Yeah, we would do next week and the following week because there's going to be a lot that's going to happen. So let's do
shows?
it.
Okay. Yeah. So Brad, you in? Oh, that's right in Vegas. Oh, interesting.
Don't be gay.
Interesting.
But Ariel says he's been broken in half. My God, someone stop the damn match.
So maybe next week, Brad, then. We'll talk later, Brad.
Yeah, we'll talk later. No, we're gonna talk. I think there needs to be a next week Wednesday night SmackDown and then a post. Right. Yeah, it's okay. It went from this to this really quick.
Really quick, right?
Real quick.
Okay.
That being said,
And then by next week we'll know everything.
exactly. Also, hopefully, Ego and Tyler can join. I will remember this time, since I didn't tonight. And then I went and looked at my my YouTube studio. And I was like, "Oh, the last show was like 13 days ago, dumbass." You show up at your bar. Like, yeah, that's what he wants. What are you talking about?
Duh.
With ladies.
That's right.
I won't be there, but show up with ladies. That being said, thank you so much to the chat. You guys are the best.
Yes.
Nobody cares about my channel because I suck.
No.
Everybody cares about JV, so he gets to say goodbye, JV.
That's right. Next week, we're going. Joker rules. That's all Joker, all the time. Riley Legion, you Rudy Poo candy ass. That's right. Calling you Rudy Poo. You can stick that sumbitch sideways. And I don't care about The Rock anymore. So anyway, thank you, chat, for stopping by. You guys were great. We'll see you in a week. And as Miss Tiffany Stratton copies me, as when she leaves the shot, she says, "Toodles."